Alright guys, so what we're about to see and why I was so excited to beat this, and I was actually talking to Michael about this at work today, and how I was just so frustrated trying to beat this track, and even like, I even had my wife looking at me play this, and she was just trying to tell me, take this turn a little bit quicker, or take this a little bit slower, and she was just trying to help me, you know, even though she has no idea, you know, how difficult it is, because she obviously never plays this. But this is a 917K Porsche 1970. It is basically the hardest car to handle. It is very heavy, as you can see. It has a weight of 1,764 here in the bottom right. 598 horsepower. It's a very powerful car, but the problem is, you can see here in the track, there's there's pots filled with water all over. Certain areas of the road is wet, and you know, certain areas are pretty much dry. But the problem is, since you have an issue with traction control on this car, since everything's on manual, it's very hard to accelerate right off the back. You have to push the accelerator very slow, especially if you're on first and second gear. If not, you're basically spinning out the car. This track is designed to make you fail and like basically spin out. I have spun out in this track at the worst places. I mean, it is just horrendous. But let me just take you through it. So here, the game starts you off in auto drive. It starts you off in third gear. Immediately accelerate, change to fourth gear, and you have to bring it down all the way down to first gear in this tight, extremely tight corner. It is awful. Have to stay here. Like you see, the road is a little bit wet here on the right side. What the game tries to do is it pulls you to the side of where the road is wet, so that it makes you spin out. Here I have to bring down the car to third gear, accelerate just a little bit of the wet surface, and just rip it down the straight. So coming here, there's a little edge here that I marked. Boom, right here. If your time at this point wasn't 33 seconds, that's it. I mean, there's no point. You might as well just quit the lap. There's no way you're gonna beat it. Just mathematically, it just wasn't adding up. If you didn't hit 33 seconds by then it just wasn't worth it. I mean, you would have to make up the time somewhere else, and you don't have it, because everywhere here is wet, and it's just very difficult to make up the time. This loop, I had to break it down to second gear, brake here, stay in second gear, and just rip it. This white sign coming up, my time had to be at least 1 minute and 13 seconds, which is what I had, and I was so happy. Bring down the car from fourth gear to third gear, and take this loop all the way around, avoiding all those wet areas, and just flooring it on the gas here. I hit a pothole here, I heard it, and I thought I lost it, but bring it down all the way to second, go around. You know, it's just very difficult. Just try to always remember where the wet areas of the track are. That was the most difficult part. And on top of that, I mean, in order to do this in a perfect way, the car had to be on manual, right? You had to drive the car on manual, because you have the ability to switch back and forth from gears to make the car go slower and faster. When you play the game in automatic, it just doesn't work the same. You're very slow when you're playing on automatic, and I learned that the hard way. I've had to teach myself how to race and play this game in manual. I mean, here's one of the toughest turns. It's one of the last two turns, and it's the one where I messed up the most. I mean, here, just this turn, you lose a lot of time. So I'm just very happy to beat it. So excited.